This next walkthrough video is for a new form. It's a student organization purchase request form. So you want to navigate to our website, xavier.edu/clubs. You can then scroll down to policies, forms, and reservations, and that's where you'll find this form located here, student organization purchase form. So a little bit about what is this form. This form is used for a multitude of purposes. First of all, Xavier University has an arranged agreement with Amazon, and we have a University Business Prime account, so we can make Amazon Prime purchases for student groups, and it will charge directly to your organization. We would encourage you to use this. However, I would note that because there's like a couple steps of approval, like your advisor has to say yes, and it has to be entered in the system and it has to be processed, there are a couple extra days involved. So I would probably say don't expect that this is going to be a click on Amazon and you're going to get the product the next day. So plan ahead a little bit and make sure that you request 3 to 5 business days in advance. Then the other thing is Office Depot we also have a relationship with, and that is related to office supplies. We are strongly discouraged from making Amazon purchase or office supplies purchases without going through these punch-out catalogs because they do build in like the free shipping piece, they do build in discount prices, and it allows the university to maximize our spend. So what you need to know for your purposes is ultimately if you are trying to procure something from Amazon or from Office Depot, please start with this form. Now that's not the only purpose of this form. This also replaces what previously had been known as like the check request. So if you're trying to pay a vendor by check, or if you're trying to reimburse a student for more than $300, this is the form that ultimately you'd be using to complete that. So as I scroll down through the form, you'll be able to collect or select your organization and determine which group you're a part of. And then there's a few questions that help to sort of navigate who has to do the approvals. Is this a club purchase for a club sport, for an NPHC fraternity or sorority, or for an other student organization? The vast majority of you are going to be other student organization, just so you know. Is this for Amazon, Office Depot, or neither? Is this related to apparel, brand use, or screen printing? So that's another change this year that you should be aware of, and that is that the university moved to a new buying system and that we are really, really trying to support vendors that are licensed to create Xavier merchandise and also vendors that are minority or women-owned businesses. We really want to invest our spend there. So there are going to be some limitations to what companies you're allowed to use to purchase apparel and brand use or screen printed merchandise. So this would be like t-shirts, sweatshirts, giveaways that have graphics printed on it, etc. What's the purpose for this purchase? And then enter your 6-digit fund number, which likely begins with an 81. So if you selected an Amazon purchase, this is what you'll land at next. We'll encourage you to either create a wish list that you can share with us in this document, or that you'll create a Word document and that you screenshot exact products, what you want us to purchase. So in the box here, you'll list the items. Be very specific about exactly what you're looking for in exact quantities, and be aware, especially as you're browsing online, some things come in bulk orders. So I put an example here that you might want, for example, 24 items, but they may come in boxes of 12. So you want to be really clear that you're telling us, I need 2 boxes of 12. That way we don't accidentally order 24 boxes of 12 for you. This is where you can upload the screenshots, and honestly, that's the easiest thing to do. You just hit print screen when you're browsing on Amazon so that you can say this is the exact product I'm wanting you to order. And then give us an estimated total cost, because that again helps us verify that we're looking at the right item for you. Once you hit submit here, it will process through the system and notify us that you're making an Amazon purchase. We will then take care of that purchase for you, and you'll be notified that has been ordered and when it's in and been delivered to campus for you to receive. Let's say you're doing an Office Depot purchase and you want office supplies. So you would have selected Office Depot. The system is very similar. You can just give us a description. The one thing you can look at is you can browse the Office Depot catalog, or you can browse their website. And Office Depot, you can find item numbers. That's really helpful for you to be specific and say, I need you to order this quantity of this item number, and here's what the item is. You can also, again, do screenshots and submit an upload, give us an estimated total cost. Office Depot, we get deliveries every other day, and so it's pretty fast. A lot of times you can get an Office Depot delivery even faster than Amazon to campus. But just being aware, you would just fill this out, pretty simple, hit submit. It goes to your advisor for approval, and then it comes to us so that we can enter it and get the items delivered to campus. And again, it charges everything internally to you. So let's say it's not Amazon and it's not an Office Depot. You're just simply trying to get a check cut to pay some sort of a vendor. Then you would hit neither on that first page and it'll take you here. This is where you would ask a vendor in advance for a copy of their W-9. This is what a blank W-9 form looks like. It's a legal tax form from the IRS where they would fill out what is their legal business name, they would report to you, and they would then sign here. So this W-9 would be completed, and this is something when we're setting up a new vendor, so someone that we've never paid before on behalf of the university would want to complete this. Once they have that W-9, you can upload it here. You then would write out, just like you would previously on a check request form, if you're an officer or an advisor who's done this before, you'd tell us what's the legal vendor name, so what matches their W-9 form, what's their address, what is the contact information, what's the name, email, phone for that vendor. And then this is one of the big pieces, is that in order for you to procure any type of goods, so let's say, for example, you're going to order t-shirts from a vendor, or let's say that you're going to contract like a speaker or a performer, you need some sort of a quote. And the quote, it can be like from a t-shirt company, they'll say, you know, here is a written formal quote of how much it's going to cost you to place this order with us. If you're doing some sort of a professional service, like you're hiring a photographer or like you're paying for a speaker or a performer, this is in the version of an unsigned contract. So ultimately, they're saying you want to rent inflatables from us. You know, here's the quote or here's the contract of what it's going to cost. It can be an invoice. It's preferred if it is a quote. So it's something that's on the front early end rather than an invoice saying you now owe us. But a little bit of nuance, just if you can get a quote over an invoice, that's better. Then what's the total purchase amount? And then once you hit submit here, it then goes into the queue where your advisor is asked to review and approve it. And then if this is for most clubs, it will come to student involvement for review. And if it is a club sport, it'll go to rec sports for review. We will then key all of this into the system for Xavier, and they will then produce a check or payment. They also often will produce what's called a purchase order, which basically is sort of a contractual agreement to a vendor to say, we are going to pay you. The university has dedicated these funds for you. And most vendors will receive a purchase order and say, okay, that's as good as paying us. We know that, you know, you've said the money is held and that it's ready for us. The end process is that the vendor will then have to submit an invoice into the system, but that's all done automatically on their end. Xavier will contact the vendor and say, once this good has been received or this service has been performed, we need you to follow up and submit this invoice online to us. But for your purposes, you just simply need to fill out this form and then get to the bottom and hit submit and make sure that you've got your quote uploaded and that you have a W-9 if it's a new vendor that we haven't used before. Okay, any questions on this, just let us know. You can email xuinvolvement@xavier.edu. If by chance this is trying to reimburse for a student for more than $300 because you can't reimburse in cash, the vendor name would be the student name, student address, etc. And the quote here would be a copy of the receipts or all of the receipts bundled together, with the purchase amount being over $300. So just so you know, you can use this form specifically to reimburse a student by check. Okay? All right, XU Involvement at xavier.edu if you have any questions. Thanks.